Good evening, Teds and Tedettes. Despite the name of the program, my name is not Ted, it's actually Peter, and tonight I will be giving you guys a talk about dreams. Now, I'm not talking about the dreams that you have at 4 a.m. in the morning where you're being chased by a giant peach. No, I'm talking about your aspirations, the dreams that you wish would come to reality. Now, you see, many of us have plenty of great ideas, plenty of great dreams, but most of the time, they never really get implemented. See, just like that weird slice of pizza in the back of your fridge, you're kind of like, oh, this dream or this idea, I'll get to it later. And you never do. And that pizza, and just like that idea, sits there and it molds. Now, because I'm obviously not a lizard, I, like all the rest of you humans, love to shower at night. Now, during showers, I have something called shower thoughts. Now, a shower thought is basically thoughts that you have in a shower. Quite self-explanatory, right? Now, shower thoughts usually go along the lines of, oh, you know what? I'm actually pretty good at singing. Maybe I should sing more, or some dawning realization. However, the second you step out of that tub, you're like, oh, what was I thinking about again? Oh yeah, that sounds stupid, I'm not doing that. So you see, a shower thought sounds great in a shower, but the second you get out, it gets washed down the drain, just like the rest of the shower water. Now, a shower thought is built like a spark. Imagine your brain is coming out with a spark. Now, think of a lighter. When you smack the lighter, it shoots out a spark, right? However, if you don't do anything else, that spark disappears just like every girl I text. However, when you flick the lighter and you smash down the fork, which is that little gas pedal thing, then gas greets the spark, and wow, you got a flame. Now you're fueling your fire, all right? Cool. But how do you fuel your fire? See, you need motivation. Now, that spark that your brain comes up with, it's called an aha moment. It's when your brain goes, aha, got him. And, well, okay, you can have an aha moment, and then you just need to set an end goal. But you need to motivate yourself. How do you motivate yourself, you might be asking? Well, that's what I am here to talk about. See, there are generally 6 ways to motivate yourself. See, if you've ever taken a course like Planning 10 or Career 10 or CLC, see, they hammer you with quotes like, oh, children, follow your passion, or, oh, children, use your passion for success to drive you forward, and all that generic stuff. Now, does it really sit with us? No. See, the problem with those statements is they're too kind on you. They're like, oh, darling, you can go up whenever you feel like it. And you're like, yeah, you know what, I'll just tomorrow. And then you say tomorrow for like 365 days. So it never really happens. Now, this is where I pull a fast one. See, personally, I feel that discouragement is the best form of encouragement. And you guys are probably like, oh, wow, an oxymoron. How original. Shh. Now, I will tell you guys a lovely story. So, for context, I have been in the Air Cadet program for too many years. I have kids call me a cadet boomer. It's unfortunate. Anyways, beyond that, well, being an older cadet, we have to do these workshops over the weekend. And they're basically to help us improve our teaching skills because, well, I'm an instructor in cadets. My job is to teach little kids. And we have those over the weekend in places like Chilliwack and whatnot. And we just go there and stay overnight. So the one I went to, I was paired into a group of people. And we had to do a presentation on the spot. It was impromptu. And basically, the instructor guy's like, yo, all right, guys, so here's a scenario, okay? You guys live in an apocalyptic wasteland. Everything is radiated, and you got a bunker and supplies, and you got to choose people to let into the bunker. And my group, well, we didn't use the time very productively. So by the time that it came to present, everybody was like, oh no, I don't want to present. And they'll look at me and they're like, hey, yo, pretentious kid, you go up. And I'm like, okay. So I go up and I read the guidelines. And the guidelines are just, all right, so here's people. All right, take them in. Just give us a reason. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be scientifically possible. It just give us a reason. Okay, that's like finding a loophole in a contract, right? So I abuse that. I walk up and I'm like, yo, all right, listen, we live in a society. We live in a society where everybody is radiated like pizza rolls. So you know what? We don't need to save specific people. We can save everyone or no one. See, with so much radiation, your DNA must be literally just falling apart. And because of that, you can use that to your own advantage. Use your own like sheer willpower to asexually reproduce like a starfish. At this point, the audience is like, wow, okay. You know what, like, fair enough. It doesn't say he can't say that. So I go on for 5 minutes on this rant about starfish and how, like, you could chop them in half and they're still alive. So by the end of it, I'm like, all right, peace, y'all. And I just walk off the stage and I sit down. And people look at me and they're like, wow, you know what, that was pretty good. You're pretty good, you're pretty funny. I'm like, oh, thanks. But then the compliments, see, they went through this year and they came out this year. I didn't really care about compliments. Like, okay, cool, you think I'm cool. Thanks. But I am traumatized by the next set of events. See, these two people next to me who were in my group, who, by the way, didn't present, they looked at me and they were like, yo, this Peter Peng guy, man, he kind of sucks. Can you imagine him teaching a class like this? Oh my God, that sucks. I cannot believe anybody would be in his class. I cannot believe they're still letting him in this program. Wow. Okay. See, I looked at them. They're like 1.5 meters away from me, okay? I can hear them. They're not making any effort to hide this from me. So I looked at them, like, got him. You got me there. That's totally correct. And, okay. See, on the outside, I was like skirt. But on the inside, man, I was hurt. Man, I could not believe that they just said that to me. See, they popped my ego, my delicate, inflated ego. And I walked home, and I was angry. So I pop up my laptop, and I'm like, I pop open Word, and I pop open my lesson plans for the rest of the year. And I delete everything. And I start typing again. I'm pounding the keyboard. I'm putting in double the detail what I used to do. Hell, everything I did before was detailed already. I'm making it twice as detailed. It's twice as funny. It's twice as long. It's twice as informative. It's twice of everything. That's good, at least. And well, you might be wondering, well, why are you doing this? Well, someone hurt my feelings. And instead of just being angry and not using it productively, like I could just be like, they hurt my feelings. And I could just sit there and just seethe about it and not get anything done. See, no, I'm using my anger to productively do something. Now, why does this work? See, picture this. Imagine you're racing your best friend in like a foot race. And if you lose to them, okay, fair enough. You know, they're your best friend. You're like, oh, that's cool. You're my best friend. I don't really care that I lost to you. Good game. But imagine someone that you absolutely despise. Like you look at their face and your stomach goes, like, you do not want to lose to them. You want to beat them, just so you can gloat to them like, yeah, I'm better than you. Suck it. Now, obviously, that's kind of my mentality. I went up there and I was motivated. I was like dedicated to like making sure that I was better than these guys at like teaching stuff. Well, yeah, they told me I couldn't do it. So yeah, that gets me angry. I'm going to do it. I'm going to prove them wrong. It's fully out of spite. See, sometimes we do things impressively to impress people that we want to impress. Sometimes we do it out of spite. See, I did it for the latter. I did it out of spite. I was angry at them. At the end of the year, I got the top instructor award because I was that angry and I made my lessons that cool. Now, plenty of times have people told me that I couldn't do something. And I ended up doing it, just because I was angry at them. This isn't the first time. Hey, people have told me, oh, you can't pass the end test first time. Well, I did that. And people have told me things like, oh, you won't get into a TED Talk. I did that. And people have said things like, oh, you can't single-handedly invade the entire Russian Federation and win. I haven't done that yet, but I'm working on it. And you know what? The point is, you can do it, all right? One of my most motivational speakers, DJ Khaled, once said, they don't want us to make another anthem. So I made sure to make another anthem. And that resonated with me. Man, that hit my soul. And I was like, oh, DJ Khaled, oh yeah. Anyways, at the end of the night, this isn't about me. It's about you guys. So what can you take home from this? Listen, when some idiot goes up to you and says, oh, you can't do that, you know damn well at that moment, you can do that. Why? Because they told you you can't. Now, that is a reason for you to succeed, because they told you you couldn't. Now you must succeed, just so you could rub it in their face that you're better than them. That's really it. Do it because you can. Don't let somebody tell you you can't. When somebody tells you you can't, you know at that moment already, you can do it. All right. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.